Perfect. So I think we'd like to look at some tips that you recommend for anybody that's new to essential oils and just getting into it.
So these are just some general tips that you can use as you want to get into essential oils. The most important thing is you really always want to choose organic oils. The reason for this is when we're putting them on our skin and we're inhaling them, they're going directly into our bloodstream and into our limbic system, which is a part of the brain. So you really want to be sure that there aren't pesticides put on those plants, because that will transfer into the essential oils. So that's the biggest tip that I would want you to remember, is to just use organic essential oils. In addition to that, because they are so highly concentrated, you always want to use a carrier oil with them. So when we talk about high concentration, we're referring to it takes about 1,000 tons of rose petals to make a little. Wow. Yeah, it's really unfathomable to me, the amount of petals that would weigh 1,000 tons. Yeah. But that's how many are in a little tiny bottle of rose. So we encourage the use of a carrier oil, such as olive oil, grapeseed oil. Anything that you would cook with is a good indicator that it's a carrier oil. Okay. And that just helps the essential oils bind to the fat molecules, and it dilutes your oil.
Okay, great.
So the next thing you want to talk about when you're talking about dilution, you want to make sure that you're using a safe therapeutic level of oils in your practices. So a good rule of thumb is to do 10 drops of essential oil to 1 ounce of your carrier oil. And we cut that in half if you're pregnant or you are a child. We consider children to be anyone under 12. So you just want to be safer with them. They have a little bit more of a sensitive system. The other thing to be aware of when you're diluting, if you have an autoimmune condition or you have a suppressed immune system, you want to go with that lower dosage as well. Something that's really big right now is the ingestion of essential oils. Most certified aromatherapists do not encourage ingestion of oils. It's just, again, they're really highly concentrated. You don't put them on your skin without a carrier oil because they can cause a reaction. And the same thing can happen internally. When you're ingesting them, you can irritate the esophagus. It can do damage to the organs in the body. So we just encourage you not to ingest. If you do have a condition that you feel you need to ingest for, then you would go to a certified aromatherapist or a trained doctor.
Yeah, with the concentration level, I can understand how that could be
an
issue. Yeah.
It's pretty concentrated.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. And then just choose one area that you want to start with. So it's overwhelming, the amount of things that you can do with oils. There's all kinds of things you can do with them. So I encourage you to choose one area that you want to focus on and start with that and just let it naturally progress. Maybe even just starting with one oil that you want to experiment with, and just let things kind of progress from there. What happens if you buy all of the oils and you try to do all of the things is that you spend a lot of money and you have a lot of oils sitting in your house that you don't use at all because you're overwhelmed.
Right. That makes complete sense to kind of focus and go from there.